Hello to everyone. Today we will start our final account, basic concept related to final account. Let us begin. To know the business performance for a year, we need to prepare final account. This can be done by preparing trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. That means final account is prepared to know the performance of the business, whether we have earned profit or incurred any losses for the year. We need to prepare this final account, and this can be done by preparing three part. Trading account is your first part, next it's profit and loss account, and thereafter balance sheet. Now trading account is prepared to find the gross profit. Profit and loss is prepared to find out the net profit. Now, what is this gross profit and net profit? To clarify this, gross profit means profit earned from trading of any goods, profit from sale and purchase, and direct expenses. Suppose the cost price of the goods is 100 and selling price is 500, and you paid a carriage of rupees 50. That means after purchasing those goods, to get that good in sellable condition, you took that goods and paid carriage for that. So cost price will be 100 plus 50, because you have incurred expenses for purchasing those goods, carriage on purchase. So gross profit will be sale price minus cost price, obviously, but since you have paid carriage, you have to deduct carriage also to get your gross profit. So gross profit means sales minus cost of goods sold. Now cost of goods sold what? But to maintain the business, now cost of goods sold means whatever the expenses you have incurred after purchasing those goods and before selling out those goods. Those are our expenses, direct expenses, and those are comes under cost of goods sold. But to maintain the business, we increase the sales. Business may incur various expenses. That means to maintain the business, to increase the sales volume, you need to incur some type of expenses. Those are which are to be deducted from gross profit to get the net profit earned during the year. That means to maintain the business, electricity, rent, salaries to employee, these all we have to pay to maintain our business. And to increase the sales, that means advertisement, promotions, those are our expenses which are to be incurred to increase the sales. When those type of expenses are deducted, that means to maintain the business and to increase the sales, if we are incurring some expenses, those are to be deducted from our gross profit to get net profit earned during the year. So if our gross profit is 350, as per our this example, our gross profit is 350 and we paid advertisement expenses 20, rent rupees 30, and carriage on sales is your 50. So net profit will be gross profit minus advertisement expenses minus rent and minus carriage on sales. That is, our net profit will be gross profit minus advertisement minus rent minus carriage on sales is your 250. So this is the concept of gross profit. So gross profit and net profit. So gross profit means when the profit earned from trading, and from that gross profit, if we deduct all sorts of expenses which are indirect in nature, that means which are not related to purchase, those type of expenses, if we are deducting from gross profit, we will get net profit. Now profit and loss shows these net profit or losses. Now we have classified expenses into two parts. First one is your direct expenses and second one is your indirect expenses. Direct expenses, we supposed to record direct expenses in trading account. Why? Because those are related to trading and manufacturing. Okay. And indirect expenses means related to sales and administration, that is operating expenses. Operating expenses means to maintain the business. If we are incurring any expenses, they are operating expenses. And interest paid, commission, etc. are non-operating expenses. So these are non-operating expenses. So these are to be classified under indirect expenses. Now come to your next part. Direct expenses are recorded in trading account and indirect expenses are recorded in profit and loss account. Now let us begin the format of trading account at first. Now this trading account, at first you have to mention trading and profit and loss account of for the particular person for the year ended on 31st March of 2015. Suppose our year ends on 31st March. Next is your debit credit. You have to mention particular amount and particular amount. Here also you have to mention particular amount. So now at first we have to record the opening stock, which was our closing stock in last year. At first opening stock, and whatever you will purchase in this year, at first you have to write that as to purchase less purchase return. So you will get net purchase for the year. I repeat, purchase during the year. From that you have to deduct purchase return. And in credit side you have to write the sales, that means income, and if there is any sales return you have to deduct that at first to get the net sales. So in trading account we supposed to mention net purchase and net sales. This can be derived by deducting purchase return from purchase and sales return from sales. Now next is your wages. Now wages means when we are paying some wages to our casual worker, so to wages, and if there is any due to be paid, so it's to be added to record the total wages for the year. Next is your carriage inward. Next is your power and fuel, manufacturing expenses. All these are to be recorded in trading account. That means after purchasing, if any purchase oriented expenses and if any factory oriented expenses is there, so those are to be recorded in trading account. Usually trader don't incur uh, any factory related expenses, manufacturing related expenses. But if any manufacturing related expenses incurred by the traders, those are to be recorded in trading accounts only, because manufacturing related expenses to be recorded in manufacturing account. Since these are the traders, they do not manufacture good, even they have incurred some sorts of manufacturing related expenses, those are to be recorded in trading account. Now come to your credit side. After our sales, you have to write the closing stock. That means if any stock remain unsold uh, for the year ending, so you have to maintain that at first. Here to be started with opening stock, and here the stock remains, that is closing stock. If any good destroyed by fire, if any goods drawing, those are to be recorded in credit side. Okay, so this is our total goods. So out of that total goods, this part we have sold out, this part lying in our godown as unsold stock. These are stock destroyed by fire, if any, and if any goods withdrawn by the owner. So these are to be clarified as कि some part have sold, some lying unsold, some destroyed, and some taken away by the owner. Now if you will add the credit side, get that total in debit side, and if you have deducting all these, because these all are expenses, so you will get your gross profit. Right, record that as gross profit carried down, because thereafter we will begin profit and loss account in same format where you supposed to record that as gross profit brought down, and all other type of income and expenses are to be recorded in profit and loss. Now there are some non-operating income: interest on investment, bad debt recovery, commission received, rent received, discount received. These are all our income. So these are to be recorded in profit and loss account credit side. And operating expenses, uh, it means to run the business, whatever the expenses we have to incur, that is your office and staff salary, office rent, depreciation on furniture, selling commissions, and advertisement. So these are all administrative related expenses and selling related expenses. Those are operating expenses. So this is my gross profit that we will get from our trading account. Thereafter, your sums will provide you some sorts of income. Those incomes are to be recorded in credit side, and operating expenses to be recorded in debit side. Next, after that, you have to continue profit and loss account with non-operating expenses. Those are interest on loan, discount allowed, bad debts. These all are non-operating expenses. Now, if credit side is heavier, get that total in debit side, you will get net profit. And this net profit to be transferred to capital, because owner have invested money in this business. So whatever the profit earned by the business, this to be transferred to his capital. There may be loss also. If debit side is heavier, then there will be loss. So this net loss also to be transferred to capital. Now I have clarified a little bit over here regarding our indirect expenses, cost of goods sold and all. So let us explain this. Indirect expenses. Indirect expenses, that means expenses those we are recording in profit and loss account, they are indirect expenses. Now this indirect expenses having two part. One is your operating expenses, another one is non-operating expenses. Non-operating expenses means all those expenses, which a firm have to incur, but not for operating the business, but if business took some loan from someone, yeah, to from bank, then business have to pay some interest. If business is allowing discount to someone, those are your non-operating expenses. And operating expenses are of two types: office and administration overheads or expenses, and selling and distribution related expenses. That means to maintain the office, electricity bill, rent, office staff salaries, depreciation. Those are our office related expenses, administration related expenses. And selling distribution means when to enhance the sale proceeds, we need to incur some advertisement, sales promotion, commission we have to pay to our agents. Those are our selling and distribution expenses. Now, what is cost of goods sold? There I have clarified, but here I am explaining it once again. Cost of goods sold means opening stock plus purchase plus direct expenses less closing stock. Why less closing stock? Opening stock means these that we are having from last year's balance. These we have purchased, and while purchasing you paid some expenses. Those are direct expenses. Okay, and this is our total stock. If some of the stocks is lying in godown, you haven't sold out this in this year, so you have to deduct that. Now cost of goods sold equals to opening stock plus purchase plus direct expenses less closing stock. Now suppose opening stock is your 20 units of rupees 10. You have purchased 100 unit at the rate of 10 each. So total available units are 120. Suppose closing stock is 70 units at the rate of 10. So that means you have sold out only 50 units of rupees 10. So cost of goods sold will be 50 units of rupees 10, that is 500. That means cost of goods sold means whatever the stock you are selling out, cost price of that goods. So let us explain it in this way also. So cost of goods sold means cost price or purchase cost of goods sold during the year. Thus, trading account shows gross profit, which means sales, that means the sale price of the goods, and cost of goods sold, that means what is the value of, what is the cost of the goods that you have sold out. This is the cost price of the goods that we have sold out, and this is the sale price of that good that we have sold out. Suppose you have sold out 50 units, so sale price of 50 units and cost price of those 50 units. So if you will deduct, you will get gross profit. Now come to your balance sheet. This is the last part of our final account. So this is a statement which shows the financial position of the firm. These usually we prepare at year ending only. So balance sheet as at 31st March of 2015, whatever may be the date. And liabilities amount, assets amount. Usually we prepare this in year ending, that is on 31st March. Now come to your liability part. This is capital at first, whatever the owner have invested. If owner have withdrawn any amount, deduct that from your capital, because from firm's point of view, liability get reduced, because if owner withdrawn money, so liability of the firm will get reduced. If there is any profit, that is net profit, it's to be added, because by utilizing the capital, business have earned some profit, so business supposed to pay this profit to the owner, so this becomes our net profit, so it's to be added. And if there is any loss, so it's to be deducted from your capital. So these are our net or closing capital balance. Thereafter, if business firm took any loan from bank or from outsider or from anyone, it's also our liability. And some of our there are current liabilities. Current liabilities means when firm have to pay this amount within the year, they are our current liability. For example, outstanding expenses, bills payable, bank overdraft, pre-received income. So within short time period, we have to pay off this. Suppose creditor, when we are purchasing goods on credit, we have to pay them within 1 month or 2 months, or max to max within 6 months. Outstanding expenses, it means outstanding rent, commission, salary, whatever we haven't paid yet, we have to pay within very short period of time. Same for bills payable, bank overdraft, and pre-receive income. Pre-receive income means when we took some advance money from someone, so benefit to be given within short time period, so they are all our current liability. And now come to your last part, assets. Now assets, first is your fixed assets. Now the fixed assets are those assets which a firm utilize for more than 1 year. Suppose goodwill, this is an intangible fixed assets. Land, building, plant machinery, furniture, patent, copyright, trademark, these all are the assets which firm utilize for more than 1 year. So these all comes under fixed assets. Investments also, there may be short term investment and long term investment. Usually if they are not mentioning you anything regarding investment, those are long term investment. If they will say you current investment or short term investment, then those are to be recorded under current assets. Now current assets means when any assets, when benefit from any assets to be derived within the year, those are current assets. Suppose inventories means stock, debtors or trade debtors, that means stock today we are having, tomorrow if we get a customer, we supposed to sold out to them. So next is your debtor, that means when we supposed to sold out some goods on credit, we supposed to collect the due amount within very short time period. Bills receivable, cash at bank, cash in hand, these all are our current assets because you will get the benefit within short time period. Prepaid expenses, that means when you paid advance to someone, so you supposed to get the benefit within short period. Accrued income, when you supposed to receive any income, they are accrued income. So this is how we supposed to clarify our assets and liabilities. And after writing all the items of assets and liability, you will find if we will add all the assets, you will get a total, and all the liabilities you will get a total which will be matched. Subsume assets equals to liability. All assets must be equal to liability. So you will add all the liabilities, you will add all the assets, total will be the same. Thank you. That's all for today.